Hey, welcome back to our Georgia suburban homestead with Taba Squishy making part 2, playing with snot. Enjoy.
All right, this is what little teddy bears are supposed to look like.
Kinda.
Yeah, I gotta glue his arm back on. But you have to remember to use petroleum jelly. This stuff. And you slather it all over the inside of your mold, because if you don't, and you forget like we did, Charlie's going to show us how difficult it is to remove it from the mold.
Maybe he felt that the last one was difficult. Or I thought the last one was difficult because this mold's so bloody thick you can't invert it. And then it sticks to the mold. And you just gotta work your way around trying to get it loose.
He was using very colorful language with the one that was greased up.
Yeah. Because if you look down in there, there's not much room for your fingers to go in there. And it's so thick trying to flip it out. Trying to flip the mold to get the release is nearly impossible. Okay, I got some loose.
Coming loose in bits, or
Well, you gotta pull it. You get it loose a little bit at a time. See, it's sticking even to there.
so we'll come back and show you whether this thing came out in chunks, in which case we'll have to throw it away, but I'm going to try to salvage the mold. But we do have another type of mold to try, and we're going to try that when we get to pouring. So more on that later. We'll leave Charlie with his project here. All right, so Charlie, could you show us what we're going to be using from Let's Resin? This is
Flex
Let's
Rubber.
Resin, Flex Rubber, and it's 2 bottles, part A, part B.
A.
A. You want to leave it out if you're about to use it.
B.
B.
Blue and pink.
Blue and pink. Now, what he's going to use. We've got the Flex Rubber. We've got a weight, a scale.
Scale, okay. Now you're using your words.
Yeah, we're going to show them the tools. That's scale. Okay. Vaseline. Or petroleum jelly. Vaseline's a brand name. Charlie's playing with the scale. He likes to play with gadgets.
Well, trying to show him and
Covered with a Ziploc bag to keep it from getting gooey.
warning, do not swallow. Keep out of reach of children, which is kind of weird because this is making a children's toy.
Actually, it's not for little kids. It's really more of an older kid, adult thing.
Yeah. I could see a little kid trying to eat it.
Yeah, you don't want kids to eat it. It is rubber.
Avoid contact with eyes. Do not dispose of waste into drains. I bet you that would stuff up a drain. Oh, man. Okay, mixed ratio. 1:1 by weight. By weight is more accurate than by volume. Mixing time, 3 to 5 minutes. The more the amount, the longer the mixing time. Working time, within 30 minutes at room temperature. Curing time, 3 to 4 hours. Depending on the size, thickness of your product, as well as curing temperature. We suggest you wait for at least 5 hours before using the silicone molds. Working environment. Do not work in kitchen, as the cooking fume will affect silicone curing. Huh. Where cooking fumes will affect the silicone and not the other way around. Clean, dry, not moist, no smoking environment. Suitable for cat claw mold.
That's the one that looks like a paw.
Okay.
We're going to show them the molds we're going to do. So, how about showing us the empty glass?
I guess you're talking about one of these?
Yeah. Now those come from Let's Resin, and they have measurements on the side. And let's show them those. Can y'all see that? Probably not because it's clear, right? So what I usually do is I put an empty coaster mold on the scale. Okay. Then I put this in the mold. All right. So then we need to decide what mold are we doing. You doing bunnies still? Which is this.
Okay.
And what he's going to do is grease up the bunnies with the petroleum jelly. And that's just sticking your finger in it and greasing away.
All 6?
A stick? No, you're going to do it with your
All
finger.
6.
Yes. Ew.
Get it down in the ears, because that's the part that's hardest to get out.
So he's going to take a few minutes to do that, and I'll bring you all back to see once we're all greased up. All right, so Charlie's going to pour his first glass of snot. So, but we're going to dye the snot interesting colors. So if you'll show us this so you can see it. Yeah, this we got on Temu. It's dye for the silicone. And he's just going to have to stir that into the silicone. Once he's mixed it, we're going to do yellow for little chicks and brown for bunnies and a puppy dog that we've got. So if you look over here, we've got another kind of mold. I bought these on Etsy. And tomorrow when I unmold this for you, I'll tell you
how well it went.
And if it looks good, I'm going to put the lady's link in the information below the video here. So those of you who want to come down the rabbit hole with me on these squishy things can do that. And you can see whether the molds, the soft silicone molds with the squishies are easier to demold or these are. And we have greased this up with petroleum jelly.
Majorly.
Major petroleum jelly, because we have already learned that. What do you have to do?
You gotta yank that stuff out, and it does not come easy.
Try to talk to the camera and not to you.
It does not come easy.
Okay, so he's got the, let's see if I can zoom in. Alright.
Gooey. Everything's gooey.
Everything's good. It's going to be like dealing with snot. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see the measurement on the window here. So he's going to tear it out to 0. And you know what? You need some personal protection. So let me give you a pair of rubber gloves. Whenever you're working with these chemicals or pouring resin, you need to have gloves on to protect your skin. And if you're we're in a really well ventilated room. As you see, these are all screen windows and they are open. When I'm working with resin, I sometimes put this mask on, and even if I don't have the mask on, I've got a fan over here that blows over my head to blow the fumes out the window. You don't want to breathe it. You don't want it to touch your skin. So, Charlie's now going to open up A. No, you don't need to shake it. But you got it tiered out and on? Is it zeroed out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
So
it was.
yeah, that's why I think we need a new one. It doesn't hold its ounces.
I have no idea. Chill.
OZ in the right-hand bottom counter if it's ounces.
It looks like grams. Kilograms. Pound. Oh, ounce.
All right. So
Oh,
don't breathe on it.
it won't. No, there it went, finally.
Okay. So pour it up to the 4 mark, or just under the 4 mark on the. This is part A. Whoa. Under 4?
It's still under 4.
Okay. And how much does that weigh?
3.63.
All right.
So
I'm going to tear it out again and pour the brown, the part B,
3.60.
until it is the same weight. Keep an eye on those numbers. Oh, we're going to hit a button and mix for 4 minutes.
Okay.
Can you hit that right button for me, babe?
This one?
Yeah. And he's going to stir going the same direction, scraping the side every now and then, going the same direction, and he's going to do this for 4 minutes until that beeper goes off. And we'll be back.
How much longer I got, baby?
1 minute, 12 seconds. Getting tired?
Yes, I'll try this hand. Getting those things out of that mold made my hands sore.
Yeah.
It seems to turn color as you mix it. It turns to gray a little bit.
Okay, now we're going to mix color into it. This is brown.
Take the whole bloody bottle and get what you want.
Yeah. Okay, that looks like it's going to be chocolate brown, which is what I wanted. So y'all, it takes a lot of pigment to get it uniform color. Scrape the sides of this off. Here. Oh, I'm still going to want more pigment in that. But once we get this to the color we want it, we're going to let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes. You see the little bubbles coming up? We want the bubbles to go away. And then we're going to pour it. So how many ounces of fluid do we end up with?
3.6 and 3.6 would be 7.2.
On measurements on the cup.
Well, that's a little over 7.2.
Okay, so it takes about 4 ounces of this to do a bunny. So I'm going to have to mix up 3 of these. Okay. So we'll bring y'all back when we get to pouring. So we're going to want to fill it all the way up to these little lips. We're starting out at 210 milliliters. And you just simply pour it up to the lip. Now I have noticed that it pulls in or it shrinks. So we are only left with 10 milliliters, which means I'm going to have to mix up a lot more to do all these molds. So maybe I'll just mix up 1 more for this. And let's see. This is one of the hard molds. I don't know how many milliliters this will take. So I'm going to pour through these little holes. So that little mold just took what was left, which was 20 milliliters. So 20 from 210 is what, 190? So I have to make up 190 milliliters for 1 more bunny. We'll do 1 more bunny because I think I've got a bunch of bunnies already. And then we'll do some of the smaller molds. Okay, so tomorrow we'll unmold the hard mold and see how successful that is. And then we're done. And come down the rabbit hole with me with these. They're a lot of fun. It's not cheap, but if you're doing craft shows or gifts for the family, it's definitely worth it because the people who picked these up at the festival we went to last weekend couldn't put them down, and they tried to buy my prototype. And I'm like, no, that's for people to give me feedback. So we'll see you tomorrow. Although this sets up in 4 hours, 4 hours from now I'm going to be making jam. So we'll see you mañana. So here we are the next day, and we've got our first pour in the hard mold that I got from a lady on Etsy. So we're going to see how it works out. If it works out well, I'm going to get a wiggle on and make a lot of these. Boing, boing, boing.
Yeah, makes you wonder if getting that out's going to work.
Well, it better. I bought a bunch from her.
Yeah.
Okay, that came out. Kind of looks like a butt.
Hold on. Hold that back up.
Kind of looks like a butt.
Okay.
Does it look like a butt to you?
Kinda.
Something took a dive and got stuck.
The bottom. I know we're
That is just so wrong.
I know we put a lot of Vaseline in these.
Yeah. So I'm sticking my finger in and gently squishing. It's really like boogers. Okay.
Came out pretty good.
All right. Ew. Oh, it's so wrong.
Oh, it's a hippo.
It's a hippo. A hippo. A sticky hippo. Hippo! Okay, I gotta decide what kind of...
Flocking to put on it.
That was supposed to be brown.
It's kind of brown.
It's more purple than brown.
I'm closing up on it.
I don't know what I'm going to do for the face. But here's the bunny that Charlie did last night. It's your first pour, Charlie. Can you see on the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Blurp. Okay, look, it's peeling itself. That is the secret, to grease it up real well with the petroleum jelly.
Lots of Vaseline.
And then turn the mold inside out.
Who put the pepper in the Vaseline?
I don't think anybody knows that song anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of old.
My bungie on fire.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the guy was doing.
Well, we all know what you use Vaseline for. Alright, now this looks more puddly than mine did.
Puddly?
Ew!
Hold on, hold it still for a second. Well, he got a good face on him. He flattens out a little bit, I guess. Alright.
So, if you're using a soft mold, lots of Vaseline. If you're using a hard mold,
Lots of
Vaseline. So the lesson is
lots of
Vaseline. Yeah, it's just so wrong. Look at his butt hanging over the end. Boop! Alright. So thanks for keeping us company to make squishies. Called Taba Squishies. T-A-B-A Squishy. So if you like what you saw, if you had fun watching us, give us a thumbs up, will you? Make a comment. How would you like to make toys out of boogers? Like, subscribe, hit your... Where are you going? He gets so distracted. What was I saying? Now I'm distracted.
Subscribe.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Channel can't be that bad, can it? See ya.
Leave a comment about that.
Yeah. Are we on track or what? Y'all have a good day.
Bye-bye.